BMW updated the X5 and X6 for 2024, and in the process replaced the xDrive50e with this xDrive50e. It gets a new look, more power, and more EV driving range. After all, it is 5 more. Let's take a closer look. Looking at the front of the car, the first thing you'll probably notice is the narrower headlight design. That is 1.4 inches or 35 millimeters narrower than before, and it does give that more squint-eyed, aggressive look. BMW also played with the design around the front fascia in general, tweaks around the kidney grille, bumper, that kind of thing. Also, these curtains off to the side as well. It generally has a fairly modern, classic BMW shape. The kidney grills have definitely grown and become a little bit more ostentatious, but this one certainly isn't the worst offender, and I think does kind of hold on to that more classic kidney grill shape better than other designs. I do like the contrast of the black with the gloss black and the paint color as you go down the body, and I generally think that these shapes down here and this curtain off here and then this kind of cut into the lower part of the grille here do add a fairly aggressive stance and generally make this a good looking SUV. By the way, these air curtains are functioning. They do go to the front wheel well here to protect it from being a high pressure zone under the front wheel well. That's always nice to see. Because this particular X5 has the M Sport Professional package, the kidney grille is actually illuminated. Obviously you can't see it now, but let me quickly show you what that looks like in the dark. Pretty interesting. Also, because we have the executive package on this car as well, all the lights all around the car are full LED. Now, moving on to the hood itself, the BMW roundel is right front and center, just as it should be, and we do have these interesting sharp cut lines built in on either side, which I do like, but more than usual, I'm actually quite excited to show you what's underneath. And there it is, your turbocharged 3-liter inline-6 plug-in hybrid, 483 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. And why was I more excited than usual to show you under the hood? Look at these beautiful and beefy braces we have up here. They're kind of like shock tower braces to the extent that they start right next to the shock tower and then go towards the center. And what I really like is that one half goes to this front structure right here, which is beefier than usual, and the other half goes back to the firewall here, both of them bolting up towards the center of the car. I think that this is highly functional, very pretty structure to see right here, and it definitely shows that there's more stiffness to this front end than usual. I really like to see that. Plus, I love the inline-6 engine configuration, 4 aft mounted, because this is inherently a front rear setup, front engine rear wheel drive setup. So that's always beautiful to see. It is just the engine shroud, big cover right here, but you can see a nice big air box right here, and then it comes funneling down towards the turbos, and some interesting orange wiring harnesses around to indicate that this is not your standard electrical system. The center line of the front axle is right around where the back of this brace meets up with the shock tower, so more than half the engine is actually behind the front axle. So this is definitely a more centralized weight. In fact, this has a rearward weight bias slightly. 48% of the weight is in front, 52% is in back. That's really nice to see, especially on a bigger family size SUV. And finally, windshield washer fluid is really easy to get to right here. Looking at the X5 in profile, you get a better sense of just how big these things really are. Nearly 195 inches long, pretty darn tall too. This particular one is painted in a Brooklyn gray metallic paint, which is a $650 optional color. Also, because we have the M Sport package, we get these 21-inch instead of standard 20-inch wheels, and we've got gloss black roof rails up top and some features inside as well. And generally, this is a pretty busy design in profile. You've got these kind of cut in fender flares in the front, some sculpting right at the back of the quarter panel here. It does say electrified by eye in this top little horizontal slat right here. This is your plug-in port for the battery pack, the 19.2 kilowatt hour battery pack. And then you have this character line that starts at the charge port actually and carries right on through beneath the door handles, into the door handles in back, and then right to the tail lights. And then you have some more sculpting down low to kind of give more of a sporting appearance down here with this lower cowl kind of coming in and then coming back out just a little bit. But you can see we still have a healthy amount of ground clearance here. This is an SUV after all. I will go ahead and put the dimensions up on the screen so you can check those out and let you know that I have a lot more information in the description. Standard wheel size on the X5 and X6 now is 21-inch wheels, but again, because of that M Sport package, we get 21-inch wheels and Pirelli P0 summer rubber to go with them. Also, you can see that we've got very healthy brake rotors in front with these nice big fixed calipers right here. I believe those are 4-piston calipers. And here's another look at that little slot in the back of the quarter panel that I was talking about, electrified by eye. And this is a larger SUV, but this has a bunch of M stuff, and it is a BMW after all, so we have a staggered wheel set. 275 millimeter section width wheels in front and 315 section width wheels in the rear. Looking at the car from the rear, the changes are a little bit more subtle, but we do have new taillight design right here, and is very chunky and three-dimensional. They come out like a solid inch or more right here and kind of extend, and you've got these two vertical rows. They almost look like arrowheads when combined, and you know, it's not bad. It looks cool, I'd say. Also, this is where you tell everybody that this is an xDrive50e. Otherwise, we have this subtle roof-mounted spoiler right here. Pretty sharp, pretty vertical rear windshield right here, and then just chunks of bodywork in different shapes as you go down, and then this kind of odd, chunky, almost faux diffuser-like thing at the bottom. I don't know exactly how I feel about that. Also, we do have dual exhaust tips. They are fake. This is a little frustrating. We've got this big opening right here and the same on the other side, but the real tips are right inside, right there. So as faux exhaust tips go, this is a fairly minor infraction. I'll allow it. It is a power tailgate, of course. And actually, it's a two-piece power tailgate. And with it open, you get 33 cubic feet of storage and a nice and easy loading tray to put things on as well. You also do have a little bit of storage under the floor right here, and that also has a tow hook right here and your owner's manual, little things like that. And it is actually held up by a gas strut over there. We do also have a privacy panel right here if you want that, and some tie-down straps at the base of all four corners. And on the passenger side, we do have a 12-volt power port right there. And if you need more than 33 cubic feet of storage, that is easy to do. Pull a couple levers and the spring-loaded seat backs of the second row fall into place, and you get 71 cubic feet of storage. It's not a perfectly flat floor, but it does look pretty wide. And it also looks like plenty of room for my bike, but let's find out. The little tailgate floor actually makes a nice little resting spot here. Oh yeah. Plenty wide, plenty long, plenty convenient. Fits my bike without any trouble at all. All right, let's check out inside. Okay, usually I pull my bike back out of the car off camera, but I'm wondering if you're thinking, I was like, man, that'd be a little bit easier if the car were just a little bit lower. Well, BMW actually has a solution for that. There's two buttons on the lower tailgate. One is the power button to just lower it and lift it as well. But there's a second button right next to it to the right. This lowers the entire car down. The BMW X5 xDrive50e comes standard with an air suspension that can lower the entire car to make loading and unloading easier, and it's actually pretty fast too. And you can power it right from here. So now there's a little LED button flashing, and you can hear the motors whirring, and you can see the car lowering right now. Well, there you go. Remove your bike as easy as you'd like. Of course, you can also adjust the suspension from right up here on the center console. And actually, there are 5 different levels. You use this lever right here and then have this little indicator right here. We're currently at the nominal level, and outside I have a camera set up so you can see what the nominal level looks like, but I can set it to lower level 2. So there we are at the lowest level. Now from here, let's just keep going up by 1. That's low level 1. There's normal. High level 1. And high level 2. Pretty impressive. Not only how much adjustment you have, but how quickly it operates. Pretty slick. All right, back to normal level. The first thing I'm going to do is turn the car on, because start-stop button's right here. And I'm going to put it in the sport driving mode. And there's that creamy inline 6 running. It says sport mode right there. Convenient. I wanted to show you something in the back, because this has the climate comfort package for $2,000. We get this guy right here, which means we have 4-zone climate control as well as heated seats in the back. The climate control package also gets you ventilated front seats, heated front armrests, and a heated steering wheel. Also, I'm getting ahead of myself, but to let in some more natural light, standard equipment on every single BMW X5 and X6 is a panoramic moonroof. And when you're showing people the back seat, helps to have the privacy panel open. There's another look at that rear control panel for our 3rd and 4th zones of climate control. The heated seat button is right there. And beneath that, way down low, 2 USB Type-C ports and 12-volt port right there. We also get this lovely little tray. But you don't have to reach down that far. Right in the back of the seats is another USB Type-C port right there. I am 5 foot 11 inches or 181 centimeters tall, and I have about 3 inches of leg room here. We also have pretty high seat bottoms, so thigh support is pretty good. Even with that panoramic moonroof I showed you, I do have headroom. Not only that, I do have less than a 90-degree bend in my knees. I also have my own little lights right here, and a manual sunshade as well. And of course, I do have a center armrest as well. And with this little lever right here, I have a bit of storage. And this little button right here, I have cup holders. So yeah, I got plenty of little gadgets and comforts in the second row. Be perfectly comfortable back here, and probably for a good long while. All right, to the front. Pretty typical controls on the door right here. You also have 2-position seat memory and a bit of storage down here. And this is your fuel door button right there. Fuel door is passenger rear and requires this button right here. The charge port, no button required, and right on the driver's front. We do have the multi-contour seats, so we have lots of controls here, and we also have lots of lumbar and bolster adjust right here as well. We do have a nice metal M kick plate right here and M aluminum pedals as well. And we do have a couple of controls to the left of the steering wheel, including this little storage space right here. You can adjust both tilt and telescope in the steering wheel electrically right there. Again, because we have the M Sport package, we have an M Sport steering wheel right here. Nice little M right there. It is also a nice thick rim with nice contours. And as I said before, it is also heated steering wheel thanks to the Climate Comfort package. And the M Sport package also gives us this anthracite headliner as well. You're looking at a 12.3-inch fully digital instrument cluster, and right next to that, a 14.9-inch center display, and both of these are connected by a single piece of glass that kind of curves, concaves subtly. Fittingly, BMW calls it the BMW curved display. All right, I will get it out of sport mode now that we're up here. Back to hybrid mode, tells you so right there. This particular X5 also has the executive package, which gives us Harman Kardon sound system and a head-up display, among other things. It costs $3,350, but standard equipment is wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. Also, standard equipment, a wireless smartphone charger. But as I said, because we have the Climate Comfort package, we have heated and ventilated seats, heated seats, and a heated steering wheel. And if you turn on the heated seats, it'll heat the armrests as well. Beneath that, we do have some buttons and dials for the radio. And below that, we also have a USB Type A port, a cigarette style port right there, and 2 cup holders right there. We also have, as part of this center console display, this lit BMW X5 display here on the passenger side, just above the glove box. That's a nice, really elegant touch. I really like that. And we also have a lot of nice controls right here. We are up to the 8th generation BMW iDrive system, and it has a lot of different buttons around the dial. And it has to be said, BMW has gotten quite good at these kinds of systems, and the iDrive 8 works really well. This is the adjustable air suspension ride height, and as I showed you, it's pretty darn slick. The start-stop button is right here, and beneath that, these are our drive modes, and right next to that, our electric park brake. Our lower center console is reasonably deep and has another USB Type-C port right there. All right, I want to talk about our paddle shifters. Upshift on the right, downshift on the left. If you just tap them, it'll show upshifts and downshifts. However, if you hold the positive paddle down, it'll shift from charging to adaptive brake recuperation. If you hold the left one down, it'll change your instrument cluster screen. All right, let's talk drive modes. We have 3 drive modes. We have hybrid, which is what we're in now, electric, and there you can see that we have the electric, and you can also go to electric or electric individual, and you can configure each drive mode. You can see all the different options we have right here. Or we can go to hybrid. Hybrid, there's hybrid and hybrid eco pro. So these do not have individual settings, but you can ask the engine to do what it can to give you the best fuel economy. And then we have sport, and sport once again does have an individual setting, and here are the things you configure in the individual setting. Well, there you have it. A close look at the updated 2024 BMW X5 xDrive50e. I'm Robin Warner. Thank you very much for watching.